Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Father's Day Meal Kit 2024. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us bring something very special to you at home. And a special shout out to all the dads out there. I hope that someone else is finishing this for you, and you get to be able to sit back and enjoy some beautiful smoked ribs and all this other deliciousness that we've got going on for you. So this is going to be a very short meal kit video because there's very little to do. I've gone ahead, put the oven at 450 degrees, or if you're like me with a convection oven, 425. You always take 25 degrees off. And I put the ribs in. The timer's about to go, and it's going to tell me that it's time to baste the ribs. I've also put the carrots in. Just toss the carrots in the container it came in with some neutral oil. In my case, it's grapeseed oil, but you can use canola oil or vegetable oil with some salt and pepper. They've already been steamed, blanched, and then just put them on a baking sheet with parchment paper so they don't stick. Same thing with the ribs. We actually need three baking sheets with parchment paper on here tonight because we've got this delicious strawberry shortcake. Hey Google, off. So that is the timer for the ribs. So they have been in here for 12 minutes, and we're going to do two sets of 4 minutes after the basting. So we have a Carolina barbecue sauce today, which is really special. Now, it's a vinegar-based barbecue sauce rather than a ketchup-based barbecue sauce. That's the difference between a Carolina and a Kansas City. And so it's got a little more zing to it, and it's also got a little bit more heat to it. So feel free to use a little less if you want on your ribs if you don't like it too spicy. But I love this stuff. It's not super spicy. I should really point that out. It's just got a little bit of kick to it. And you can have extra on there on the side, and I'm going to demonstrate that in the pictures. Little side dish if you like it extra spicy, or if you like it extra extra saucy. And I have particular dishes that I want. There we go. Forgot to pull those out. So I'm going to make sure that we have them there, and we're going to add the sauce to it. So the carrots are in the oven for 10 minutes, and then you give them a little stir, and then away we go. Okay, so let's build our appetizer. Appetizer, no cook. There's lots of different ingredients, as you can see, but no cooking involved. I'm going to use my hands because it's probably the easiest. I am going to use a spoon for the shrimp because they're going to be a little more messy, and I want my hands clean and dry for the cilantro. So 3 cups of lettuce per person, and some of them are larger than others. Maybe put a few more shrimp on there than the others. You know, determine the number of shrimp based upon what you've got. All right, let's make sure this one has a little too much. Let's put it on that one, which is another large leaf. And this guy could probably use one less, and that guy one more. All right, and there's a little bit of sauce. Make sure to put it in there because that's delicious. Okay, now all of the assembling. So some fresh cilantro. Some people love cilantro, like my wife. Some people not so much. That's okay. So you can determine how much cilantro you put in there on your own, but a couple leaves should do it. And that gives it a really nice fresh quality. Oh yeah, speaking of fresh, let's talk about the wine, the appetizer pairing wine, this beautiful Zahal Grüner Veltliner from Austria. It's a little bit rich, but just nice and zippy, and I'm a huge fan. We've been serving this off and on at the restaurants for many years, and our newish wine director, Jordan, has returned me on to it, and I am a big fan. So I'm a little extra cilantro for my wife, who loves the stuff. You can either take it off the stem or just leave it with a little bit of stem on there, whichever you prefer. But I got some extra time, so why not? Okay, I know that she'll have those. All right, and then we've got some peanuts for a little bit of crunch, a little bit of saltiness. These lettuce wraps are really quite special. Then we've got the salt and pepper. A little squeeze of lime. Probably packed more than we need. That's okay. You don't need much. Probably about a quarter per plate is all you need, and we'll deal with that later. Move those along. Next up is our crispy leeks. And again, it adds a nice little crunch and richness to the dish. And now comes the color. Gochujang, which is this wonderful Korean spicy sauce. So if you don't like spicy, you can skip it completely. But I would suggest try it on its own because it's really nice. It's more of like a savory heat than a spicy heat. Don't have to use it all. And then we've got some pickled jalapenos on top as well. And again, use it sparingly at your discretion depending on how much spice you like. But as I get older, I find that I enjoy more spice. Lovely. That guy over there. Beautiful. So, lovely marinated shrimp lettuce wraps with all of the fixings. And there are lots of fixings. Before I wipe my eye with my hands that have just had jalapeno juice on it, I'm going to do a quick wash. All right. Now I know the carrots are going to be ready for a little spin. Give those a little toss. Make sure they get nice and roasted on both sides. And you want to get a bowl nearby and get ready with your bourbon honey. And you're going to toss it in and give it a little stir. Okay, so let's get ready for the main course. Don't need that. Ah, yes, and the dessert. So, a few different ramekins. We've got some beautiful local Ontario strawberries, some strawberry sauce, and some maple whipped cream. Looking good. I'm really excited about this dessert. It needs 5 minutes in the oven, so when I start pulling this stuff out, I'm going to put it in and then we can do all this. And I picked some basil from my garden that I'm going to put on top. And if I can convince the chef, I will send some along. Let's talk about the red wine that we've got going on with the ribs. This is a Cinsault, which is a grape variety found in the southern Côte d'Aron, but in this case, it's grown in South Africa. And it's the Drifter from J.C. Wickens from Swartland, South Africa. Again, this is a Jordan find. It's delicious. I asked for something luscious with some little bit of acidity, some freshness, and a bit of a wild, fun character for all the dads, and something great to go with ribs. And you kind of needed to do it. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot. We make our own homemade baked beans. So we've done all the heavy lifting for you. You literally have to just put the pot on the stove, warm it up a little bit. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit just so that we get some of the moisture evaporated when we put it on the plate. Okay. Hey, Google, how much time's left on the timer? So Google's a little slower these days. Okay, the ribs are almost there. Once it hits that 1 minute, we're going to glaze it again, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for the last 4 minutes. So what I can probably do is go ahead and fill up our sauce containers here because we've got lots of barbecue sauce. And if you like it saucy or spicy, then that is for you. Chef hasn't done Carolina barbecue sauce in a long time. Usually it's Kansas City, and this has got, again, a little more zing to it, and it's really nice. It's not hot. It's just a little zing. Hey, Google, off. That means our ribs are ready for the next round. You can also do these on the barbecue if you want. The instructions are built for the oven, but if you want, you can do the same thing on the barbecue. I would just take it down a notch, and then for the last 2 or 3 minutes, give it a big sear on high heat in order to really get that barbecue sauce on there. So the carrots are doing well, and they'll come out the same time as the ribs. Again, those baked beans just moving around so that some of the steam can come out and reduce them down, because you want them a little bit sticky, which is going to be good. And you know what? I'm going to take the sauce off so that I can plate everything up and then have a place to put the sauce, because I've chosen these coupe bowls, which are really beautiful, but there's a little bit of a curve to it. If you use a big plate, then you don't have to worry about it, but I'm going to sort of snuggle it in really nicely. All right, baked beans almost there. Okay, so let's take our shortbread. It should be already sliced for you. You just put it in. 5 minutes in there, and then we're going to build it up. So after I plate the ribs, then we'll build the strawberry shortcake. But in the meantime, I love this as all. It's it takes a springtime to me. There's some green pea in there, and it's just zippy and fun and fresh. I'm looking in my backyard, and all of the radishes are exploding, and the tomato plants are getting settled in, and a lot of the other things. And it's just, I really like this time of year, so it's great. Okay, so I need the proper implement, and I think this is it, which is a slotted spoon, which is plastic or rubber, so that I don't scratch my nonstick pots. And oh yeah, you make sure that you give this a stir so that the baked beans don't stick. But they're still a little saucy, so that's why I'm using the slotted spoon, so I don't bring too much sauce with it onto the plate. I can turn that off. There's a lot of beans here. I'm probably not going to use them all. And of course, my wife comes along after I finish this and divides it into 3. So it feeds my 18-year-old son, our 18-year-old son, and my wife and I. So there'll be some extras for you if you're only 2 in there. Okay, carrots is next. And again, put them in the stainless steel bowl. And we've got the bourbon honey here. My son is going to love these carrots more than any. Feel free to hit it with a little more salt and pepper. And just give it a stir. And that is really nice. The oranges and yellows and the reds. Put that on the side. And why not drizzle that bourbon honey on the side. All right, ribs are next. Favorite part. And if you like them saucy, you can put some more sauce on right away. And make some room for the little side dish of sauce. Personally, I'm thinking that we need a little green on this plate. There's a lot of orange and red. So this is why we do the meal kit videos, is that we test it out as well. So I might ask the chef to add a little green, keep it nice and fresh. I've got some basil that I picked for For the dessert, and I might actually, I want a little bit of green on there. There we go. So a lovely smoked baby back ribs with the Carolina barbecue sauce, the roasted bourbon honey carrots, and the homemade baked beans. Delicious. All right, for dessert. Now I've got this little, big bowl, coupe bowl, and we're going to plate it in stages. So let me make sure I got the instructions right. We're going to garnish the first half, so you're going to need some spoons. One big, one small. So you're going to basically build the tower. So I think that this guy is ready. Nice and warm. Put that down there for a second. So strawberries, then the whipped cream. So you're going halfway. I'm only doing one dessert because, we try to limit the amount of desserts that we have. During the pandemic, we had lots, which I'm sure other people did as well. And half the whipped cream. Then we've got the next one with the strawberries. I want to keep some on top. Very nice. I want some garnish, so I might rewrite the instructions so that you finish with some of the strawberries. You got some strawberry juice there, but this is the strawberry syrup. And that should go all over the place. Awesome. And again, I might get some fresh basil to be included because how awesome does that look? Anyway, thanks again for ordering. Thanks for watching. I hope you love your Father's Day weekend meal, whether you're dads or have a dad in your family or not. Maybe you just like to order the ribs, and that's great too. So thanks again, and we hope to see you in the restaurant real soon. Next meal kit's probably going to be in the fall. So have a terrific summer, everyone. And again, really appreciate all the support.